sir?
Good, how are you today?
Good.
This is my ticket.
Okay, fantastic. You're on this tour, right?
Yes,
Excellent.
thank you.
Showtime Bridge. Before we make our way across the street. So, 1 o'clock tour people, if you want to go inside the team store, finish up your purchases and make your way right on over here. Alright, so this looks like most of the group, or all of the group, but hi guys, my name's Gianni, I'm going to be your tour guide here today. We're a pretty big group, so I'll be also joined by a few other tour guides. I'll be joined by Rich, who's back there, and Cheryl, who is right over there sitting down. They're both excellent tour guides. If you guys have any questions at any time and you don't feel like asking me, you can ask either one of them. Any one of us would be more than happy to answer any of your questions you guys might have. But we're going to head into Fenway Park, which is the oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball, 109 years old. Now, I kind of like to gauge sort of the baseball knowledge of my group here. I like to ask these simple questions. Next, the question I usually ask is, does anyone know what the second oldest is? It's a pretty easy one. You don't have to be a huge baseball fan. Yeah, what is it? Wrigley. Yeah, Wrigley out in Chicago, just 2 years younger than Fenway, first opening up back in 1914. All right, that's an easy one. Tougher one, third oldest. Third oldest. Give you guys a hint. Out on the West Coast. That hint was enough. Yeah, Dodger Stadium out in Los Angeles. Opened up back in 1962. 50 years after Fenway Park first opened its doors, and it is the third oldest ballpark. So that shows you, how old this ballpark right behind us actually is. And we're going to be walking around, getting a lot of information, a lot of great opportunities for pictures as well, as we make our way for the next hour or so. So before we make our way inside, we're going to be going through security. So as we're going through security, just want to make sure you guys have your tickets on hand. You're going to show them to one of the tour guides once you get over there. And also, there is like a really strict bag policy at security, so ask them if your bag is allowed to head in. If not, they'll direct you to where you can put it. It's kind of a hassle, guys, but as soon as we got everybody through, make sure we're going to have a good time as we make our way around the ballpark. But are there any questions before we make our way? Oh, wait, sorry, forgot one last thing. After security, our first stop is our restroom stop. I know we've gotten a lot of questions about that along the way, but once you're through security, I will direct you guys to the restroom, so don't worry about that. But any questions before we make our way inside? None. All right, cool. So follow me. We'll make our way right across the street. We will get the tour started.
Stay within 6 foot of us. We all get to see everything. Right? Everybody gets to see
movie. Ladies' room will be on your left-hand side at the bottom of the ramp. Men's restroom's gonna be down on your right, like in the way in the corner. I will Connor. It's a romantic comedy starring Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore. That was filmed right here. And that movie actually goes through a lot of changes as it's being made. As originally the script, your standard rom-com, guy meets girl, but in this case, the guy's a huge Red Sox fan. And at the end of the movie, the Red Sox were going to lose the World Series. But this movie happened to come out in the year 2004, where you guys know your Red Sox history. That is the year the Red Sox finally won a World Series after an 86-year drought. So they actually had to go back and reshoot the ending of the movie to make it a much happier ending for not just our characters, but for the fans here in Boston as well. So that's another movie. We've had a ton of other movies. I'll go through these quickly. We had Field of Dreams, shot at 3 scene here. These are one of the best face movies of all time. James Earl Jones and Kevin Costner came down our gate A ramp right over there and got to sit in our old grandstand seat, which we'll be going to in just a bit. We also had the movie Ted, starring Mark Wahlberg and the teddy bear voiced by Seth MacFarlane, filmed up on top of the Green Monster wall. It's actually a light tower there that a lot of fans around the time started calling Ted's Tower. And a lot of the older Sox fans thought they were talking about Ted Williams. It wasn't until later they found out they were talking about the teddy bear. We've also had Moneyball filmed up in our press box. I'll talk a little bit about that once we go through there a little later on in the tour. But for right now, it looks like we're getting a bunch of people back. Can I get a show of hands if you're still waiting on someone in the restroom? Anybody still waiting on someone? No? Alright, cool. So we're all back. So we're actually going to make our way up this whole plate ramp here. You guys get your first view. But before we do that, I'm going to make another announcement. There's going to be a lot of walking on this tour here today. So if you're at any point think you're going to need like elevator assistance, hang back. Cheryl will be there to help you get around on the elevator. But if not, make sure you stay behind me and in front of Rich or Cheryl, who will be in the back of the tour. But for right now, guys, follow me. We'll be making our way over to the oldest seats in all of Major League Baseball, where I will go to the early history of the Boston Red Sox and Fenway Park. Yeah. Section 16, take a seat. As soon as we got everybody seated, talk a bit more about our history here at Fenway and the Boston Red Sox. So. Hey guys, feel free to take a seat. I'm kind of not entirely certain that these seats are all dry, so make sure your seat's dry before you take a seat in them. Yeah, guys, just make your way down. Make sure your seat is not wet before you take a seat in them.
That's all right.
I know some of them weren't all. I know the section we're supposed to sit in, all the seats were wet, so hoping in the next one over that have a couple of dry seats. Yeah, guys, make your way on over. Find an open seat. I hope it's dry. As soon as we got everyone over, I'll talk a bit more. What was that? Yeah, guys, feel free to take a seat. I know some seats are wet, so we're not set those. Yeah, I mean, it might. All right, guys. So now we got everybody over. I'll start talking about a bit about some of our early history. In order to do that, we're gonna go back in time. Back before there was even a Fenway Park, and back before there was even a Boston Red Sox, because we're starting off in the year 1903. And why we're starting in 1903 is because 1903 is the year of the very first ever World Series. And that was a 9-game series played between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Boston Americans, which is what the Red Sox were called before they get the Red Sox name in 1908. But the Americans would go on to win that first World Series with the help of their ace pitcher, who is still known to this day because there's an award named after him, and that pitcher was Cy Young. He helped us win that first World Series. And the Red Sox would go on to win 5 of the first 15 World Series ever played, becoming baseball's first dynasty. So I'll go over some of those early World Series years here with you. So 1903 is the first one. They'd have to wait 9 years until the next one, 1912. As I've already mentioned, 1912 is a big year for the Red Sox at Fenway Park, as that is the day Fenway Park first opened its doors to the public on April 20th. That was our opening day. And you'd think the opening of a brand new ballpark was considered big news at the time, but something had happened 5 days earlier on April 15th that was still dominating headlines at the time. Does anyone know what happened on April 15th, 1912? Yeah, what's up? The sinking of the Titanic happened out in the Atlantic. We like to mention that because, again, it gives perspective of how old this ballpark really is. Just 5 days earlier, the Titanic had sunk out in the Atlantic. Oreo cookie was invented in 1912. Arizona and New Mexico both officially joined the Union as the 47 and 48 states. The same year, people were coming in to watch the Boston Red Sox play the New York Highlanders on opening day here. And, you know, it was opening day, the Red Sox going to show up, so they did, and they beat the Islanders 7-6 in extra innings, and the Islanders would go back home to New York, change their name to what are now known as the New York Yankees. So we like to say that we have been beating the Yankees here at Fenway since day one. And after that day one victory, there'd be many more to follow, as that Red Sox team would actually go on to win over 100 games. And that team would actually hold the record for the most wins by a Red Sox team for 106 years. All the way until 2018, that team would go on to win 108 regular season games. And similar to that 1912, go on to win the World Series as well.
Joe, she's advanced it. Yes, she has. Yeah, I thought I played
You don't have to walk like a line. You can just like fill in. There we go. Yeah. I mean, not like in Boston, like a little outside of it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain. They're like, "Oh, you don't have the accent." So, you know.
Complain.
Oh no, trust me. I've had people go like,
Wow. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You're into it. I'm gonna play the musical.
Boston Park. Sorry. Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like the
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready.
It's just it feels like such a great stopper.
Pictures of them, those are the shoes you look at his feet are. Look at this, look at old shoes, these are old shoes. Look at those.
This is a lot of clothes.
All right, guys, take your last couple of whoops around, grab your last few fingers, and then follow me. We're going to be exiting the same way we came in, and we're going to make our way up a couple flights of stairs to our stand there. So I'm not going to think about the most famous scene here. So,
I don't have the baseball.
Please go around, thank you. Yeah. It's just a virtually. Go ahead. I didn't go that side at all. I mean, like, I was like so pissed on. Go ahead, go ahead. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. It's really I just passed by, sorry. Go ahead, go ahead. I was trying to pass by so you can take more pictures. Passing by. There's so much to see. It's great. Oh, thank you. Cool. Take a picture.
All right, so it looks like we've nearly got everybody. So now that we're all here, I can talk to you guys a bit about the most famous seat here inside of Fenway Park. You guys want to take a look at it? Take a look right over this railing here, and amongst the sea of green seats here, you will see a lone red seat. Now that seat is marked red because it is the spot of the longest home run ever hit. And that home run was hit back on June 9th, 1946. So this was 1 year before we got all our light towers here at Fenway. So back then, they had to play every game during the day. And on that day in particular, the Red Sox are playing a doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers. And a man named Joe Boucher from Albany, New York, he was down on business that day. He decided he was going to bail on work that day. He was going to come to Fenway and catch himself a game. And back then, they sold tickets for the seats and not for the game itself. So if there was a doubleheader, you had a ticket for that seat. He decided, in between the first game ending and the second game starting, he was going to take a quick nap. So he took his straw hat that he was wearing, put it over his head, fell asleep right out there, right before the second game started, expecting to wake up as the second game was about to begin. But he didn't. Second game started. Top of the first goes by. He's still sleeping right down there. No one's bothering him at all. He's just going to sit out there and nap. But then the bottom of the first comes. And who steps up to the plate? But left fielder, number 9, Ted Williams. And he ends up hitting a ball that soars over the head of the right fielder. Soars over the head of everyone sitting in the first 36 rows of our bleacher section there. Goes through the straw hat, hits him right in the head, knocks him out. The ball with it bounced back a couple more rows, never to be seen or heard of again. The poor Joe passed out in that section there. People start swarming him, they're shaking him, they're trying to wake him back up. Luckily he does, he's all right. He's only knocked out there for a few minutes, and once he does get back, people start, bombarding with questions. People first are asking if he's all right. People asking if this guy had the longest home run ever hit by Ted Williams. There are people offering to jump back a couple rows and cut people off so they can get that ball for him. And so, it's a pretty witty guy, funny. When someone asks them that they go fight someone up getting that ball back, they go, you know what, after that ball hit me in the head, I lost it. But, special story that Steve Joe was, was a really big Red Sox fan. He was just a casual Red Sox fan. Thank you. Briefly want to talk a bit about our scoreboard there. So if you take a look right across the red, you're going to see...
for health reasons, we're all just sitting at this left time.
Yeah, for health reasons,
See that guy's LinkedIn guy.
I would hate that. I'd just so like you gotta memorize the school around.
We're going to have like
There you go, Travis. You're standing in your towel. In your flip-flops.
Yeah, a lot of people call this the best seats money cannot buy. Only people line up here are members of the media. I mean, the thing is, they do open these windows and foul balls do tend to fly up here. Phones have dropped. We've had people have shattered laptops, their iPads. Yeah, the people that first decide whether it's open, left open or not, and then people are warned, hey, watch out, I'll hold on to your things. All right, if you guys are all set, follow me. We'll be heading right up this door here.
Could have been a part of him and White Sox.
World Series titles in his name, 2004, 2007, and 2013. He's also the only designated hitter up there on the retired numbers as well. So it's a little bit about number 34 out there. And the next number to talk about is the last number that is listed there, number 42. That number is retired in every ballpark in Major and minor league baseball. Because that number belonged to Jackie Robinson. So Jackie Robinson, he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's why his number's out there in Dodger blue. And his number is retired in every single ballpark because he was the first African American to break the color barrier in the modern era of baseball.
Boston Red Sox.
Thank you so much. Would you like a trade-off?
Joe, you want to get a picture in here?
Yeah.
You get it from like the nostril. Yeah, I'll go.
All right, everybody. So now we all got you guys up here on top of the Green Monster wall. I can now talk a bit more about it as these seats that are located. Actually, no. First, talk about the wall itself. As I didn't mention that before, the wall was built back in the 30s, put in by Tom Yockey. And the reason why there's a wall up here is because before the wall, there was a giant net out here in left field. And the net was out here because across the street from Fenway, what opens up but a brand new car dealership, and balls are flying over and smashing car windows. And the organization was stuck paying a lot of bills for those broken windows at the dealership. So Tom Yockey put up a net first to stop the balls from flying over, and it works for a short while until one day Tom Yockey went across the street to go pay you $50 for any seat, any game, anytime. They're just hoping to unload these tickets as fast as they can. But unfortunately for the organization, a blizzard ends up hitting the city of